Let's move over to Miami. We just heard a soundbite from Mike McDaniel calling the situation with Tua in Miami fluid. And he looked like he wanted to be anywhere but there. How do you translate fluid down there?
I think Mike always kind of has that look on his face. There's a little distance there. Love Mike. He's a very unique character. He's pretty transparent on a lot of this type of stuff. And what he said that this is fluid is very much the way that I've understood it, which is that, from day to day, is Tua going to do 7-on-7 only? Is he going to do 11-on-11? Is he going to do nothing? They don't really know. During the spring, he missed a little bit of time. He was out there sometimes for 7-on-7. They've been trying to get a contract done. And this is not, a situation where it's, well, are the Dolphins going to pay Tua? Why aren't they paying him? That always seems to be the reaction, whether you're hearing from his teammates, from fans. They're trying. They're just not in agreement on what that number has to be. It's absolutely going to begin with a 5. It's going to be $50 million plus per year. But at a time where Trevor Lawrence just matched Joe Burrow at 55, are they going to go above that? Is it going to get done below that? You also have a situation where the same agency represents all these quarterbacks that we've been talking about. They represent Athletes First represents Tua. They represent Jordan Love. They represent Dak Prescott. Different agents on each of those deals, but teams can't collude. Agents absolutely can communicate on some of these things. And so all these situations are, at least to some degree, tied together. I would think that, in all likelihood, the next one to get done would be Jordan Love, just because it seems like things are a little bit on a better page right now. But that's not to say that something won't get done in Miami with Tua either. At some point, he's got to weigh out the best offer the Dolphins are going to make him versus the possibility of a guy with his medical history, his concussion history, playing out the last year of his rookie deal, and then in all likelihood getting franchise tagged in March anyway. I mean, this is the business time of year, even though we're coming back into training camp. I honestly, Suzy, can't remember. Somebody asked me this the other day. I don't really remember quarterbacks pulling the hold in ever. The hold in is more of a recent thing over the last decade anyway, but we generally see it at other positions. Everything's different when you're talking about taking your quarterback off the field. So to the extent that you're watching guys who are not as good of a player as Tua, not as good of a player as Jordan Love, that helps the players leverage. And as long as teams are not going to fine the player for missing time or willing to forgive any fines if and when they get a long-term contract done, these guys can afford to wait up until the point where maybe the player feels like he's missing out on the reps.
You brought him up. What are you hearing about Jordan Love?
I would say that there's ongoing conversations, there's ongoing negotiations between the Packers and Jordan Love. I don't get the sense that we're that far off from being able to get to a deal, but as of last night, I didn't get the sense that anything was imminent on that front either. I mean, I would be very surprised if Jordan Love isn't the highest paid quarterback in NFL history by the time that he sets foot back on the practice field. Everybody's been very upfront. Brian Gutekunst, who is very good at not being transparent on a lot of things, said at the podium the other day, I mean, he's our franchise quarterback. He thinks that they're close at this point to getting a deal done. But as everybody knows who cover these negotiations, it's like a Yoda line. There is no close. There is only done. And we're not yet done in Green Bay. I do anticipate that's something that gets done in the not too distant future.
What's the best Star Wars, Tom?
I've got, Brockman, as you know, some holes in my movie watching.
You did just quote Yoda, so I assume that you've seen them.
I've seen the original 3 Star Wars, but not in a long time. I don't think I've seen any of the other. How many more are there? 6 between prequels 13, and sequels?
I think. Yeah, well, okay, 6 actual Star Wars movies and then all the spin-offs and whatnot.
You only need the first.
I ran out about episode 1, I think. I was like, I'm good. I'm good on the rest of the series here. I'll say The Empire Strikes Back. How about that?
Well done.
I like the one with Baby Yoda. What was that one?
But that's Mandalorian.
I like that.
But it's not Baby Yoda. It's not actually. Yeah.
It's all the same to me. No, I like the Mandalorian.
I got it.
The rest of them, like Tom, honestly, until you have to sit there with your kids, that's Rich's bailiwick. Like he'll watch all of those. I tend to leave the room during all the other remakes, but Return of the Jedi. He likes Empire Strikes Back.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.